Hey everyone, so I think we're about day 19 of the vlog. Apologies, I missed yesterday again. I had great intentions. It was a really busy day Friday, didn't stop. Then basically went out for dinner with my family, and then my intention was to record a video when I got back and got it up onto YouTube. But while I was out with my family having dinner, a lovely gentleman across the way collapsed and passed out in front of us. And given that my background is in GP practice, I was a healthcare practitioner, it's all of just surrounded by the medical world for many years. I knew that I had to step up and kind of take control of the situation. That then turned into 2 hours waiting for an ambulance for a gentleman who was obviously quite chronically sick. Which was absolutely heartbreaking to witness. So my evening kind of ended by me coming home absolutely exhausted after looking after this gentleman for a couple of hours with his family, trying to reassure his wonderful wife of 60 years that he was going to be okay. While he lay on the floor of the restaurant because I was so concerned about his well-being that I was afraid to move him. And all of my training told me not to move him. But sadly, with the strain on the NHS as it currently is, we had no choice in the end because he was becoming so uncomfortable. We had no choice but to move him to somewhere a little bit more comfortable. And I'm still waiting to find out the sort of what's happened to him. My concern was that he had potentially the start of sepsis. Through a number of different factors. So I'm really keen to try and find out what's happened to him. And so I'm trying to find the process of that at the minute. So my idea of doing the vlog just totally went out of the window. So as you know, Saturdays are not usually days that I work. Saturdays and Sundays are very much my time, my recuperation time. I work very hard and flat out Monday to Friday, and so then I choose to have my weekends to myself. But I've been developing part of the commercial arm. So as you know, Freshly Squeezed Ideas are taking over management of the development of our commercial arm. But there's a specific women's project that I am looking to launch over the next couple of months. And so I've kind of been putting all of the pieces in place and looking for someone to head that up and looking at how we monetize it and all things like that. And here's one of the things that I was going to share yesterday that really it aggravates me, if I'm honest, but I appreciate that people are concerned about me, and so they express their concerns. A couple of people have said to me, "Oh, do you think you're building this a bit too fast? Do you think you're going a little bit too quickly?" And whilst I appreciate everyone's concerns that perhaps I'm doing a lot more than I anticipated I would, especially the fact that I'm juggling both the CEO role and handing over the commercial role to someone else, I am still fully in control of what I'm doing, and it's not out of my control. And if something became out of my control, then I would feel concerned about its progress. But as it is right now, because I'm positioning myself right at the back of the process in terms of I'm just the one with the vision, the ideas, and then I put the people in place to run those ideas, I'm finding that for the first time ever, I'm able to run as many projects as I could possibly want to run, because actually I'm not the person that is now at the forefront carrying out the projects. And this is something that has completely revolutionised my ability to transition into the roles that I'm currently in. Because when I had my 10 companies back in 2011, 2012, 2013, I was a fundamental key element to each one of those companies. I made all the decisions. I carried out all of the activities. I did all the networking and all of the building of those businesses. Whereas with this, I'm not. What I'm doing is I'm connecting all the dots and then giving the final picture to someone else to make it happen, which I believe is how Richard Branson and Alan Sugar and really famous, multiple entrepreneurs, how they build their businesses and how they still keep sane and have plenty of time for holidays and family time. It's because we know what we're good at, and that is the ideas, the creativity and the development. And then what we do is we hand that over to people who are better at running it than we are. And I really believe that we've hit on something here. There's this women's venture that we're currently looking at, and I really believe there's a huge gap in the market. And the reason why there's a gap in the market is because people don't focus on this specific area. They move they're focused more towards business, but actually there is a huge market out there that is a non-business view, and there are women that need to be reached that are in a completely different separate area, and we're gonna launch it and we're gonna develop it. And I've already had huge inquiries, even just from a couple of social media posts, so I know we're onto something. So while it's hot and while I know that there is a need and a desire for us to create it, I am going to get on and I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to build it. That's what I've always done. That's how I've always achieved all of the multiple businesses that I've had. What I've always failed to do is put someone else in place to run it and take myself out of the picture. I'm not doing that this time. I'm learning from my previous lessons. I'm making sure I've got brilliant people on board, and that's why not worried about how many projects I've got running at this moment in time. I'm still in control and I'm still managing to keep them going. So that is probably one of my biggest tips you will hear about how to run multiple successful businesses. Learn from my mistake of burning out trying to be all things to all men. Bring in brilliant people who can do things better than you. There you go. Happy Saturday. I'm going to get back to this planning.